In this video, we're playing Backgammon versus the Bot with my guests, Nick Blasier and Simon Barget. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoy this video. Please like and subscribe, and you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. Please let me know what you think in the comments below and what you'd like to see in future videos so I can work on that. My book, Backgammon Backgame Strategies, is available. There's a link in the description to where you can get it. And if you're interested in lessons, please contact me via email. My email address is in the description. This is my pleasure to have the first time we're doing this with two guests, the Backgammon versus the Bot. Welcome to Nick and Simon.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining me. How are you doing? Let's start with Nick. How are you doing, Nick?
I'm doing all right. I'm ready to play some backgammon. Good to see y'all. Yeah.
And you're joining us from where?
Madison, Wisconsin. There's finally, well, the snow melted off today, but it's about to stick soon.
It's snowing there.
It's cold here. Yeah.
And Nick, you're also giving lessons. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. What's the best way for people to contact you?
It's a good question. Probably Facebook.
Facebook? Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll just put that in there.
Yeah.
We're happy to have you. Really enjoy your videos as well as yours, Simon. Welcome to Simon. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
How are you doing today?
Pleasure to be here. Very well, thank you.
Yep. And it's evening where you are. You're joining us from
Yes.
London.
Yes,
Okay, great.
I
And
am.
enjoy your videos as well. Do you also give lessons, Simon?
Infrequently.
Infrequent.
I'm contactable on Facebook as well.
Facebook. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Wonderful. So this is the Backgammon versus the Bot series. I'll go ahead and share this here. Are you gentlemen able to see the screen now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So we are playing on a beautiful Jeffrey Parker board made by Rain. He makes beautiful skins. I'll put a link in the description. This is going to be a 3-point match. You can see at the bottom. Simon and Nick are going to play the brown checkers at the bottom. XG will play the white checkers at the top. And you guys just go ahead and tell me what you like to play, and then afterwards we'll analyze it. So
Cool.
4-1, not the greatest opening roll. How do you like playing it? A 3-point match.
Both off the 8-point, right?
Is this what we actually rolled 4-1? Or was this just
It is. It is.
Okay.
I split.
Yeah.
It's all small stuff though.
Yeah, it's all small. This is actually the weakest opening roll of them all.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now 3-1. Okay, and I'll just go ahead and roll when it's clear, but if you want to stop me.
Yeah.
Okay.
What level are we playing? What level is it? Extreme Gammon, I suppose, because it
Yeah,
says
extreme gammon. Yeah, the default.
Yeah. Okay.
So 5-3.
Looks like we're making a point. Are you thinking?
Yeah, I think so.
Have you two played
Yeah.
doubles together? Is that right?
Kind of.
Kind of.
I mean, we played against each other, if that counts.
I
Okay.
was trying to remember if we played on a team together in Chicago.
We did, but we didn't consult.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Oh, right. But not
It wasn't
the
a
doubles.
double.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's true. Yeah,
That was fun. I watched some of that. Did you enjoy that competition?
yeah, I did.
Yeah, it was super fun. I would have liked winning better. I think I had like the unluckiest like race sequence I've experienced against Arda in that too. So, on second thought, I did not enjoy that.
I remember that match that you played. You were both standing up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you do a run through on your channel, Alex?
I can't
No,
remember if
okay.
I did that one. I did one of them. I don't know. Anyway, let's continue. So White rolled a 3-2, playing 13-8, and now we want to roll, right?
Okay.
Yep.
Now 5-4.
13-8 wasn't clear to me, by the way, but okay.
For him.
Yeah. I guess it makes sense. No rush to split or anything like that, but okay. 5-4. I guess we must be ahead in the race now. Do we? Yeah, we do have the pip count and everything. The 9-point looks less valuable than usual. I'm usually not super inclined to trade the 8 point for a board point, but maybe the 4 point's good enough here. It just
You
looks,
see,
yeah.
mm,
It looks so weak to
my
just run, but yeah, I don't know.
my initial thought is exactly what you don't want to do.
Yeah,
Which
just to make the
is
4 point?
no, what you don't. I would have played 23-18, 13-9, and then trying to work out why I want to play that because it's just my gut instinct. I think I don't want to leave a blot on the 8 point, which
Okay.
means that if we come out to the 18, we can't run all the way because then otherwise we'd be leaving a blot on the 9.
hmm
But then I guess we have to call in Alex to.
Yeah,
I feel leaving a. Sorry to cut. I just feel leaving a blot on the 8 isn't. We don't really need to make the 4 so much.
yeah, that's kind of my instinct too, though I wouldn't mind this play, but I think what I would probably end up doing over the board is just running 23 to 14, trying to make progress in the race.
Can we look at that?
I guess he doesn't
Does
have
that leave-
twos otherwise, so if I was going to get technical about, like, this is probably my speed gammon play.
This could be okay. I don't know why. I don't like the 4.
Yeah. Well, it
I'm
feels.
I
Go ahead.
yeah. Or maybe 2 down, so you don't get hit on the bar.
Yeah, so my only problem with making the 4 point or playing 2 down are that we're slightly ahead in the race, we're being primed. I feel like we're starting to get overrun. So I want to do something with the back checkers. I do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. This is like a classic play that tests your how clearly you understand the objectives in a backgammon position.
Yeah.
So it's like this is a play that we should both be getting right. Everyone should get this right.
Yeah.
But I don't. I would just reiterate 18-9. Happy to be wrong.
Yeah.
I don't really know.
Yeah.
Like this?
I don't know why I would want to leave a reasonable 6. Most of his 6s are going to be either really good or.
Yeah, he's not in a hurry to break off the back checkers with his 6. So we do give him a playable 6 and a 1. It must leave the most shots. It is the fewest blots. It makes a piece of structure in the 9 point, but I don't really want the 9 point when I have the 3. They don't communicate as part of a prime. So it's.
Yeah, you always say that in your. Yeah, I remember you always say. But the idea, I guess, is to break the 9 point once you can.
Yeah.
And make the 4 or make the 4 or the 5.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I would end up just. I mean, it can't be too far off from just running to me. What is it? I guess the 6-2 is actually duplicated to hit 2, which is kind of nice with the blot on the 9. So that looks like
4-2.
Yeah, but I think making the 4 point actually seems more reasonable than usual because I still feel like we have timing on the midpoint. We're not so overrun. We filled in a nice gap in our structure. So if anything, like I would be debating doing this, and once I looked at it, it looks pretty reasonable to me.
All right, and we can do this and see. I mean,
yeah, I'm fine with this or running all the way. I think the 18 and the 9 just feels like a middle play too. But again, like I feel like those all must be like totally reasonable candidates.
I just we don't want to labor it too much, but what we're looking at when we make the point is, let's say we don't get hit, which we probably won't. How likely are our numbers diversified to say make the 5 point? Like we need 3s and 1s. Are we diversified on the other side of the board? Stuff like that. Maybe you're looking at like, and generally, how do our numbers play?
Yeah,
if we don't get hit,
I personally don't.
They play okay.
Yeah, I don't tend to get too deep into that and stick with strategic concepts. I'm going to have to lean on you for that, Simon.
We'll look at it in the analysis. For me,
well, anyway.
Yeah, the things that I see when I look at this position is you mentioned that we're up in the race, so we want to kind of get things going. And then, making this point is nice. I kind of like this kind of play for a few reasons. Number one, being ahead in the race, you want to kind of get things moving. Secondly, this checker here serves as a distraction. So if we're hit loose with a 6 or a 1, we have a good 6 return from the bar, and we're only losing 7 pips. Whereas if white were to be hit back, white would be losing 18 pips and having a third checker sent back. And although the 9-point is not as valuable, being that we already have the 3-point, it does make a point and also brings another checker into the zone, which will help offensively in the future. But you two are the guests, so we're going to do what you say.
Oh, in which case can we make the play you just
Yeah,
suggested?
Simon and Alex both like it. I'm in.
I mean,
We'll look at it.
I'm confident. I'll take a financial hit if this is wrong. $2.
We'll see. I tell people sometimes
I mean,
a $2 free roll?
I'm never confident, right? But yeah, I'm kind
Right,
of confident
yeah.
about it. So
I
just
suspect
looks
they'll be
like good. You
close.
keep all. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So let's see.
I was
Sorry.
going to argue for it too. It sounds like you guys are saying that it risks less pips in the race, even if it's more often.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
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 Now,
So can we cube this? I get.
Oh, did you want a cube? We can go back.
I didn't. I think we're going to be okay that it's not a cube. I don't think you need to go back. I just wanted to have a micro look at it. I think it's probably not. We don't have anything.
Yeah, no real threats. Even though we got to be more aggressive at 3-way, 3-away. So I want to pause more. Yeah, but I don't see.
It's just a kind of it's a weird kind of obsessive rhythm thing more than anything. Like when I'm playing, I like to take the time in the right places to get my brain kind of, or to convince myself that I'm working in the right way to try and play good backgammon. So I would have just taken a little bit of time there, but I think it's probably safely not. Maybe if we had the 4-point, it would be.
Yeah, we don't have a board advantage. We don't really have a race advantage. We are threatening to hit a blot or leave it there. But either way, is it really like a decisive threat? Like, I don't think so, you know?
And afterwards, during the analysis, I have another board set up so I can copy the position and paste them. We can make modifications and variants, whether it's the position or the score, or change it to a money game and see.
Yeah. Anyway, I want to make the 5-point and play 18 to 15.
Yeah, I think this is what I would play without much hesitation. Again, for that reason that if you play 13-10 and he does, it's unlikely he rolls the 4-6, you get sent back too far. So it's not worth it.
It's another blot. It's more returns. You're not closer to safety. You know, like it feels very structurally like keeping it simple and trying to make our way home with a lead in the race is the right idea here. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
We may be able to have a double next depending on what happens.
Yeah, this looks good.
Yeah.
Okay. 5.
So make the.
Okay.
Oh,
that was 5-3.
Okay, hold on. Yeah. I thought you would make the 3-point, but obviously.
Oh, 3 head. That's an interesting play. Yeah, we can hit up there instead. Yeah.
Now we're on roll from the bar.
Mm-hmm.
I guess he didn't want to leave a blot on the board.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just thinking, like, let's say we just roll a 3. Mm-hmm. Where does that leave us?
Pretty good, but not enough pressure to like take him out of the game. I don't think even at 3-way. Like it wouldn't be a clear cube yet for money to me. Maybe in some, and also we do have to think about 3 what. You know, like 3-5 and 3-6 are not so attractive. Maybe 3.
Yeah. And then my next question is, if we fan, like how good or bad is it for us? And usually, in this case as well, it's pretty bad, I think, if we...
He's literally like hitting loose, and in a sequence or two, we could be in like serious gammon threat, right? So I think there's like pretty immediate counterplay for white. So yeah, I'm not thinking of a cube. I think...
So if
I had to guess who the favorite was, I guess it's probably us, but that...
Yeah, for sure we're favorite. I think...
Even though we fan a quarter of the time. Yeah, I don't know.
I think we've only got 4-6 and double 4, right? And 4-1 is like a third best. So maybe that's safely not enough to know that we haven't quite got it.
Even not all of those are clear market losers either, right? Like you can just enter an anchor, or I don't
I'm
know.
always
Yeah.
I'm always hoping for Alex to chime in and
I
say
think
we've got
what
the
you
right.
know, so you're the guest, so we'll do what you want, but I'm happy to let you know what I think. I mean, I basically on this one, I agree with everything you said.
Oh, good. Okay.
So you want to roll then?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. 5-2. So the 2 is forced.
That's awkward. Yeah.
I guess I don't really want to provoke being hit and jumping out. I mean,
No.
13 to 8 is
No.
my
No.
instinct. Yeah.
Again, I would never play bar 18
Mhm.
here for those reasons. Like
Yeah.
staying back, you're really pretty safe, and you
I
only
guess,
get double hit, with 5-1.
yeah. So this is the place to be against a blitzing structure. But I know that overrunning the position and taking the spare off the midpoint and not just flowing with the racing lead, all these things, like it's sort of the first instinct, and I have to talk myself out of it in this position.
You mean because we're
Yeah,
6 pips up, but it's only a small,
sure.
sort of, yeah.
Yeah. And it's another blot involved too, right? We improve 3-4 and 6-1 for sure.
So, and the numbers to hit us on the bar are kind of like 4s, 3s, whereas the number to hit us on the 22 is a 5.
Yeah.
So it's not duplicated at all.
Yeah. I'd just rather be hit on the 22
Yeah.
or the 23. Yeah. I'm good with this.
Yeah.
What I was thinking when I was looking at this is let's imagine we're white. What would we want to do next? Well, for me, I would want to make the bar point here, right?
Right. Right.
So if there's a blot there and we make the bar point, then it's really good for white and really bad for us. Also, this does duplicate the 6-1 and 4-3 that makes the bar point. So I agree with this.
You obviously you do, because you do it, your swing numbers. And I was just looking at some of the numbers, and even double 5 is better for him, I think, if you come out, because it's a superior double hit. So if I'm like imagining those bars, maybe there's not even any numbers that you gain on by coming out.
Yeah,
we can do that analysis afterwards. Yeah,
on the 23. Yeah, I would say I'm not sure how. I'm actually not super excited as white to make the bar point. I would rather blitz here. I don't have a ton of numbers to do it.
Exactly. Yeah. I was thinking that as well. I'm like desperate to roll like a 5-1 in his position.
Sure. But so if we come out to the bar and we roll that like a 5-4, 5-3, 5-6, I'm very happy to double hit. Like those feel great.
Yeah.
Or
sure. And I guess the only thing you gain is you haven't got a third blot in the equation. So I should have. Yeah.
So like a 4-1 actually for white after coming out to the bar, I'm probably hitting twice and not making the bar point, but I'm not certain of that. I think I would. These are fun questions.
All right. Well,
because you give yourself a good 5 to cover, which you don't have on the other side of the board. On the other, I'm with down. Yeah.
Down. Okay. All right. So now 5-2. Okay. So hit loose.
Yeah.
Now we're on the bar. Down 4 pips on the bar.
So now we've got all 3s, 4-1.
Yeah. Feels like the same story as last time, except we're threatening to make a weaker anchor. I guess it's more shots, but.
Did we have a direct shot last time? I can't remember.
Yeah. I guess if I hit with a 3 and do nothing and my opponent just enters, like I guess we probably have a cube, but it's not, I don't know. Have we lost our market?
Hold on, but we haven't had a direct. This is the first.
That's correct.
The first shake.
Yeah, but we had a direct at making the 22 point, was I guess last time, right?
Right, but this has got to be stronger than just making an anchor.
Yeah. Okay.
I guess. Well, I think this is a cube, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
Just because if you hit the 3.
Yeah.
So you got obviously 2-1 as well and 4-1. I missed out 2-1, which is obviously bad. So that's 15 shots, but you've got 4-2 as well to make the 21. So you've got 70 numbers, which are good. I wonder.
Double 2.
Yeah.
Double 2, yeah. And then the fours, the other fours that come in aren't that good though.
Yeah.
4-3,
Guess
4-6, 4-5.
maybe I'm
I think
still
this is
underestimating how good the hits are. So when he hits, like, what does white do, and what is the position afterward?
yeah. Oh,
Let's say we
well,
just hit with a 2-1, and then what is white going to roll, and how often is that market loss? That's what I'm asking.
well, I think that's part of the point, that even if he hits you back, he's pretty disjointed. Having made the ace point, it's hard for him to put his position back together.
Yeah, and then he's going to have 3 checkers back in a blitzing position too. So yeah, okay, I'm buying it now. And I guess the flip side as well is that now when we fan, our opponent's likely to have a 4-point board, and that's disastrous. But it's not like we're going to get cubed at this score or something either. It's a lot closer to home, having slotted a point when we fan too.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, I would.
I think I would like probably talk
I would.
myself out of it at a normal score, and then at this score, I'm more inclined. Like if if it's even close, then at 3-away, it seems fine. Yeah.
So, Nick, let me ask you. You wrote the book on match play.
Yeah.
How would you adjust to a three-away score versus money games or other scores? What are the key features you need to think about when you're at three-away?
Yeah, it's not key features as much as like the window shifts a little bit. So it's not like our 4-way, 2-way, 3-way, 2-way, where like if it's a normal game double, then it's going to be closer to a pass, and so we just need to be looking for any advantage. What I'm looking for is something that seems like maybe I would have to think about the cube, like exactly this kind of scenario where it doesn't jump out at me as like a clear money cube, but Simon's got some reasons and things like that where it seems like the swing could be there. Those to me were like at a normal score when we're kind of on the fence and maybe it seems a little early, not sure. That's when I'm thinking at 3-way, I probably need to adjust and send earlier and just get this one in. And specifically in the volatile ones too. Like there's gammons in this position because our opponent's back on the 24. Sending a third back is going to be like that. It's not just like a simple high anchor game or a race, where we can start adjusting to that actual 25% take point that happens, I'm just thinking in those simple terms here. And so I think I agree with the cube for that reason.
What I was thinking is about some of these rules like O'Hagan's law and Woolsey's law. So I spoke with John O'Hagan, and his law about doubling, not necessarily a three-away, but in a money game, is if you have 9 net market losers and the rest of the time you're doing okay, then it's a double. And the 9 net market losers are within your next 36 rolls. So we mentioned 18 rolls that are really good, but then there are also 9 dancing numbers. So you have to subtract that. So 18 minus 9 is 9. Now, at all of those 18 times, are you going to lose your market depending on what white rolls? Not all the time, but some of the time. So maybe that 18 minus 9, after you subtract it, it's not 9. It might be a little less than 9. So it might not be quite a double. And in terms of the take decision, I mean, they're 25% of the time we fan. So that's pretty, I mean, that's a lot to be able to take. The biggest downside for white is having both ace points is really bad. So in a blot hitting contest, although both sides have a 3-point board, Brown's board is much stronger in terms of purity, has much more priming value. So those are the thoughts that I have. We're not playing with the clock, but
yeah,
we want to get things moving a little bit so we can get to the analysis. What would you like to do?
I just say I don't like to miss cubes, and I would also like echo what Nick says, that three-way isn't particularly sensitive scores. So I did like an Excel spreadsheet of the equity for all scores in a 7-point match, with money basically as the lowest equity always, and three-way is only a little bit up the list. People would be surprised that it's not such a kind of pushing score at all.
Are you referring
but I still don't want to miss a cube. If it's...
Are you referring to the match equity table or the take point or the double?
No, I don't know. I got some positions, like some early positions, which were theoretically played
Right.
correctly, fourth roll, fifth roll, where they are doubles for money, the conditions are that they have to be doubles for money. Then I tabulated all the equities, all the scores in a 7-point match where
Right.
the double is still correct. So
Right.
basically all trailing scores or neutrals, even scores. Three-way is just a little bit more effective than money. I can't remember the exact. It depends on gammons basically.
Right.
But in short, your opponent's got quite a lowish take point at three away. Funnily enough, weirdly, I mean, not in a hold, not in like a holding game, versus other scores. Then the take point's quite high. But when gammons are, because I think you kill. What do you do? You're killing your own 1 point of your own gammons, right? So
Yeah, but
if you send the cube and your opponent's got gammons as well, then he can win without recubing for the match. That's one thing. But you're also killing 1 point of your own gammons, so it's not efficient.
Yeah. But 1 point isn't actually, like, if we just calculate the gammon price and gammon value, I think it's the same 50% as money. On a 2 cube, the swing between, we can either be 75% favorite when we win, 25% underdog when we lose, so 50% swing there, and then another 25% if we win a gammon, right? So it's exactly half, just like it is for money. Yeah.
So then
so on a 2 cube, it should be, I have no idea where it gets this 497. Maybe some sort of like, maybe it's not actually 25% match equity at 3-away, 2 or whatever, 3-away, 1-away post.
Right. But that makes sense then. So it behaves at
24.9. Yeah. Yeah. So the gammon value should be the same as money. It's the features are the take point, which is different, which is like 25% effective. And the recube is dead and cancels gammons. So that's, I don't know. It's tricky that way. Yeah.
Right.
Your opponent's not going to get a gammonish recube in, and this is a gammonish position. So this is one where if we really wanted to get into the weeds,
right,
we could start to think about where it's going to go. And I would favor a cube that way too, because it's a less potent cube than usual, Right.
But a gammonish recube would be irrelevant because gammons would be killed on a 4 cube.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We're not going to face many 4 cubes when our opponent's blitzing us here.
Right. And therefore that makes his take easier to bear. Sometimes. Oh no, that's the opposite then.
Yes, yeah.
It makes his take
I don't know if
harder.
it does anything to his take. Yeah, maybe it should do something to his take, but it actually makes our cube more clear, if anything, is what I was thinking about. Is that we have more risk in losing our market and less punishment. When we
Okay. So it's the opposite pull on that one. Yeah. Anyway, I would like to cube. I mean,
double. Okay, Nick.
I'm not sure. I'm really not sure about this, by the way.
Okay.
I know I prefaced.
Oh, I feel certain now.
Okay. And you would agree. What would you do if you were white?
I would take.
This is the easiest take in the world.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, 2-1.
Nice shot. So this is that kind of scenario.
I guess we have to hit.
Yes, of course. Oh, I guess we.
Now we're worried about the 4-4-2.
I guess we have to hit. I didn't really want to.
But even not hitting has some sense in it as well.
Sure. So we get to look at this scenario though, where we don't always lose our market. I was thinking the only saver was 4-3, but I guess 4-4 and 2-6 are enough to stay in the game too.
4-3 is a market saver. 4-4, obviously.
But the other things,
double 2.
What's interesting for white, if white enters with a 4 and doesn't hit back, like I think white should pass on the next sequence then, but maybe not by that much. So it's one of these where I don't know how much we've lost our market by. But I mean, the play is clear.
Yeah, it's good analysis. Very good. Yeah.
Well,
but then it's like.
Yeah, go ahead, Simon, please.
No, that's good analysis, but I never squared the circle I mean, maybe you kind of alluded to it, Alex, when you talked about John O'Hagan, but I never quite worked out. So if you have like 8.6 market losers or in other words, if some of the return sequences from your opponent are only just passes, how does that actually impact the strength of your double? I guess it kind of diminishes the strength of your double. But
yes.
Well, I guess I'm saying you're not able scientifically or accurately to have a rule whereby you say, okay, well, I need 10 market losers to compensate for that, or
Right.
I
It's
hope
also
I'm making sense.
there are a few things. I've done all sorts of statistical analysis. It's not only the number of market losing sequences of the next 1296, but it's also the magnitude, because if the volatility is high, you're going to lose your market by a lot. So that will you have to take that into account. Like here, if white rolls like a 5-1 or a 5-4, it's not so great.
Sure.
All right. So let's see. 5-1.
Okay, so this is probably not a big pass, by the way. Just because now I can see it on the board, but maybe it is a.
All right. We'll continue.
So that suggests that our cube was not good. If that's it, because this is a great sequence for us. So one of our best sequences.
Yeah. I do feel like this is pretty, I would pass this as white now.
Yeah. This.
And I think it's probably sizable. Like that third checker on the 24 is very bad.
Right.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Okay, I'm not so sure about that. We will see.
We'll see. So 3-2, we're going to come in, hit, right?
This I'm sure about.
Yeah.
Finally a play.
And
I know how to play this too.
Oh, 23 to 21, and I wouldn't think about it.
Yeah, this is one of the plays I'm most sure about for a long. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, everything else is destructive,
no
or
alternative,
or taking away. Yeah, and we just need to move our back checkers around now. So
yeah, so this is an easy play for me. Yeah.
Okay. 2-1. Okay.
Oh no.
This is good.
Is the other reason it was a pass before, because he's got a back game in quotes now with the ace point made, right? Like
he's got No, I'm just saying, oh god, because it's kind of going to be a little bit trickier to bring it home. Although he's got no timing, but it's just going to be a little.
All right. 2-1
I first see it being very easy.
Yeah.
So okay, one play that isn't the obvious making the bar is actually making the 21 and slotting the 4-point. I guess that just gives 2 6s, 3s.
It might help him make the 4-point too. Like, and the bar point is such a valuable priming point against. He's got to give up the 23 or the 24 here, and this is going to make it harder to do that. Also, when your opponent has 4 checkers back, like I'm not worried about being blitzed, and so I want an anchor less. And so my back checkers look more mobile to me here too. So I wouldn't look for a second play. I would just do this. Yeah.
This has got to be the play. Eventually, though, we're going to want to make the 4-point.
I would like to do that. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think this play is.
All right.
It's a good roll, obviously.
Oh, okay. So
he doesn't even come up. What?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's kind of surprising to me.
Yeah. All right, we'll continue. We'll move on. In the interest of time, we'll move on a little bit faster. 6-4, we did.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Oh, my God. What's happening now?
Okay.
I'm taking.
Yeah.
We're never getting doubled because he's going to be too good once we get.
He's just going to. It's like too good, not good enough. So this game time has worked out in our favor. We're going to just get gammoned.
I still feel good about our cube.
So when we made a mistake, it's going to be hugely amplified. So if the match is over now, we play like a 7.97.
Or maybe we played a 0, Simon.
Okay, so now
this is an interesting recube now. Okay.
Oh no.
I mean, my first instinct is there's way too much work to do. Like, how can this not be a take?
Exactly, which is like, but then I'm always thinking, but how can your opponent, and it is a computer in this case, get into a situation where he gives himself a very kind of dodgy cube? But I guess the reason is we just rolled a 6. What happened? We had to. He shifted.
Yeah.
We rolled.
We anchored.
Did we have 3 men in the air?
Yes.
And we rolled consecutive 6, 6, 6, like that. Obviously, that must have happened
after the shift. There were 2 of them.
You see, we still have a checker on the bar, right, Simon?
Yes.
So I think I'm not even sure what White's market losers would be exactly. If we're going to play that kind of game too, we're playing against Extreme Gammon, which is going to tend to want to get the cube in time. So it's kind of nice to assume for that reason that it's probably still a take. I don't know that I would send this though as White. I'm not sure. Like, I really don't see what role I have where there isn't enough contact for my opponent to try to play a holding game here. I mean, it is 50 pips in the race, and our board isn't perfect. Like, I could make some counter arguments, but I mean, this looks pretty nice. Like, I would feel surprised if it was close. And I've
So my first instinct was the same, that this is a take, although I was confused because I wasn't following because the computer plays so quickly. But now let me just say that, well, it's still not so good for him. Like, I was just looking at the race, but let's say he rolls like a 6-1 or something. He's going to escape the backman. I think that's his priority. And he's going to have 5 blots.
Could link 17 to 11. I don't know, but yeah.
Okay, but that you get my point. He's still going to, like, unless he rolls the perfect double 4, even double 4. So let's say we come in and imagine a scenario where we come in, but he's got 3 checkers on the 10 point, and he's still got those checkers on the 9 and the 7 point. Is that a huge pass?
Yeah.
So imagine we've got like, and then my question to myself would be, how far away from that scenario are we? Well, we're quite far away from that for him to get to that position.
I would be thinking about the take or pass if it was the 11 point that was made eventually. Like, there's decent contact, but that's probably even still passable once he gets there with this race at our not perfect board. But I think we're still a couple rolls from that. Yeah.
I'm really not sure about this race.
You're talking yourself into wanting to pass now?
Yeah, maybe because, like, just that kind of thing where you just fan. But I guess you just couldn't care less about getting gammon. So that's stupid logic.
There is one more.
If he climbs over us successfully, like, yeah, he's won the game. But like, the real loss to us is if gammons are effective for him, which they're not here. So he's either going to do it or not, and there's a good chance he won't. I would have thought.
What I was going to mention is there's one more law we didn't discuss. It's something that Phil Simborg kind of came up with called reverse Woolsey's law. If you were the opponent, would you double? If you're not sure if you would double or not, then it's a take. Kind of the reverse of Woolsey's law. And you guys were saying it's not quite you didn't think it's quite a double yet, right?
Yeah, that's what I was implying when I said
There's that feeling, a slight feeling I have. I think I would double though as white. I think I would double.
Interesting. I don't think I would, but yeah.
But I think Nick's confident on this, so I'll go with him. But I'm like these positions really flummox me when, it's a massive turnaround and your brain's like expecting just to be gammon, and then you have to start thinking. And I just get confused, to be honest.
We'll look at it in the analysis.
Yeah.
And it could, it has the capacity to be a huge blunder, although it's probably just an easy take. And I hate to be wrong, which is just kind of an ego thing, I guess.
The only other point of reference I can really think of is if we're in on the 6 and our opponent's cleaned up those 3 checkers in the outfield, or like the 11, 9, and 7, and just has 2 to scramble around. Like, that's still, like, that's not that much better than a 50-50 game, is it?
It's a huge amount of work for him to do, for sure. I don't know what
and that's not like a terribly unlikely outcome. I guess he's usually going to make one of those outfield points instead, but I'm just like, we're always going to get to like every reference I can think of. Usually we're going to be in with really good contact. And there is,
Yeah. I guess I've worked out in my thick mind why he's doubling. He's doubling, like, to simplify it, because like now, instead of us having 2 men in the air when it's too good, now we've only got 1, and he needs to seize his opportunity. This sounds so silly and obvious because we've got one on the bar, and the difference between for us of him having 1 on the bar or not is immense. So I think it's kind of like quite a volatile position, and therefore,
well, it's not too.
It's a redouble and a take. It's like,
it's not too good. There's no reason to think about gammons for him because if we can take, then it's clearly
no.
Not
I mean, I think he does. No, I know I'm laboring it a bit. I think he does still have gammons when he wins, but now,
of course,
yeah. Now
But I'm
So
saying that the mix isn't right.
he's
Where
got
like,
enough he's got enough single game winning chances such that he can cube, and the gammons are not high enough to justify not cubing, which is kind of where you get into that paradoxy sort of area.
now,
well,
what is the match equity at one away or at three away,
25.
one away, 25%, right?
yeah,
Right. It's quite
So
high in a way.
given all the blots that he has to consolidate,
yeah.
we're going to come in 30% of the time next.
So like in 3 goes, we're coming in like 60, what is it? 60, 62? I always
I don't
forget
know.
the percentage. In 4 goes, it's like 75
I don't
at
know any of
rolling a
that.
6.
But I think
You know, like to
yeah,
roll a 6 2 goes in a row is 49%. I do remember that. And maybe
Okay.
to have 3 goes at it is like 50 something, almost 60 maybe.
yeah,
Right.
should be easy enough to figure that out. But like you had asked, why is he sending this cube? And I think like it's easier than maybe it seems. It's just like if we can take and ease a favorite, that's a great reason to send the cube here, especially if gammons aren't like this is not a position where we should think about playing for the gammon instead, because we can just turn the cube and have them take and win the match that way. Like match ending cubes
Okay.
kind of tend to work that way if we're favorite. We don't need to like
Yeah.
hang on to it. I mean, it's possible for that mix to be different.
In a sense, I agree with
Yeah.
you. It's in a sense, sorry to go on, Alex, but in a sense, it's kind of like a last roll position-y type of thing where instead
Right.
of it being this roll, he's got like 4 or 5 last rolls, but he has to engage that last roll now, if that makes sense, because
He doesn't
if
have
he
to.
rolls
His
like
equity is just higher because he can just win on 4. But also you don't to do that. You don't have to be that huge of a favorite. So it'd be fun actually to guess what his winning chances are. But I think I'm not 100% certain of this, but it's possible that he doesn't have to be much better than like 60-40 here to send this cube in like a theoretical sense. And that doesn't mean that's something I'm going to find. I'm still going to be thinking about this more like a human. But if we get into the math of it and we have like, if there's a chance that we lose our market on like a 4-4 or 6-6 fan, and we're already a 60% favorite,
right. Yeah,
then
that's what I'm
in
saying.
theory we just cube it. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's what I'm
there's
saying.
no
he can
way
roll
that the
6-6
gammons
or
outweigh the value of that. Yeah.
he can roll 6-6 or 4-4 now.
Yeah.
So for me, he has to double it because that's enough for him, combined with all the next chances for him to roll it
Yes.
to want to play this game for 4 instead of 2.
Sure.
And you mentioned the gammons also, given that the anchor is on the 6 point rather than a deeper anchor like an ace point or 2 or 3, there are not going to be as many gammons as if it were a deeper anchor. So maybe he's not killing as many gammons.
That could be true, actually. Maybe it's like
Yeah.
even as low as 18, 16% gammons, something like that.
I was just thinking that. Probably, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't think higher than 20 necessarily, since all we have to do is enter and start moving checkers around.
All right. So
All right.
take.
Yeah. Yeah.
I still don't know.
All right. Well, take 3-2.
Okay.
3. Okay. So we're in.
All right. We win.
Okay.
Now it's the MP.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess you have to hit again. Far from sure, but
That's the
6-3
first
is just
instinct.
anti.
Yeah.
6-3 is just anti what we've just spoken about for like God knows how long. This
But
just
hold
lets
on.
him do it.
Yeah. Do we have to? It's not clear to me that this doesn't actually help him win. These are hard for me. These are like the toughest.
Okay. Well, Alex, can you put on the hit first?
Yeah.
So obviously count shots, I think is sensible. So it's all 4s plus 1, 3 and double 2.
And 2-5. Yeah.
14 plus
6,
2, 5 and 1, 6. It's 18.
Yeah. So half
And
the
they're
time
not-
he puts another blot in the air and is riding them. It's just that much easier.
But you're not dead. And if you
True.
do the other,
But it's a huge game. And if we don't hit,
Also,
Yeah,
4-3 is a really huge gain. Putting 2 with the 4-3.
What's that?
If we hit and he rolls a 4-3, that's really big. As opposed to
but
if we
the
don't hit-
alternative, that's true. But if you look at in terms of what the alternative is, let's say you just do this,
sure.
and he's going to get a checker closer to home, and then you're going to be forced maybe most likely to whether or not you're going to do the same thing again
I,
and again.
I think we're going to hit in the outfield. I think he's still got work to do too. So the reason that I would even pause to think about this is that, like, I think a very common scenario is he pops out to the outfield and makes the 11 or cleans up the blot on the 11 or one blot, right? He's not going to get both to safety here. Even if he does, we have some contact with that. So it feels like we still have a couple rolls to hit a shot later. The 6-3 is pretty destructive, but we're not out of it for a very long time. Like I'd be surprised if we can somehow in one sequence drop to like I still feel like we must be like better than a third to win here or something, like doing nothing.
I'll take you up on, let's say he does roll a 2-1. He's going to play 14-11, right?
Yes.
And then some of your numbers just aren't going to play very conveniently for you.
Yeah.
Like 5-2. Okay, you make the ace. That's actually not so bad.
I might actually just pop up to the 12, but either way. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. But 3-4, for example, if you picture it, same, go to the 12. That's not great.
I don't think it's bad. I think there's still, after that sequence, he still has to escape the back checker and then still has to clear the 11. And so we've still got like miles of game, you know?
I'm pretty sure this is not the right idea.
Yeah.
Well, one thing I think about sometimes is, say you're white. Would you rather be in this position on the bar or this position not on the bar?
Fair enough. I mean, that is a kind of...
Yeah. I feel like I wouldn't mind being on the bar. Like, that's another piece of it. Because it decides. So let's look at the hit once more. And we talked about we're in really bad shape half the time. So how about when the best thing happens and he fans? Like we're still like quite away from winning this game. We're doing really well.
No,
but like we might not cover the 4. Yeah, I agree. But it's not done.
That's why I'm not saying. I'm just saying that's why my instinct was to hit because of the huge game. But what I didn't take too much account of is like that kind of idea that when you don't hit, you kind of fight another day.
Yeah.
You don't have all that downside. So maybe I am looking too much at the game, but I would stick to my guns and say the gain is definitely massive. Whereas when you don't hit, it's like,
let's talk about the gain on the other half a little bit more too. So he can fan, but there's going to be like 2-1, 1-1. What else is in there? 2.
Well, delighted if you
2-3 is okay. We're still under a lot of pressure as Brown to like follow this up. Like in either case, I feel like that. Like we made a big step in the right direction, but the game's not over. You know, I don't know. Like I can clearly, to me, I clearly see his 18.5 is a way bigger gain than our 18.5, if that makes sense.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah, I'm not sure anymore. It's just I don't like playing 6-3. It's really bad as well.
Yeah, that is hard to follow up on. I don't know how we're gonna.
Not just from like a thing that people say don't bury checkers. Literally, what are you going to do with that? Yeah. That checker is just out for the count. You're not going to be able to use him.
That part, that's the biggest argument to hit for me, is that the other option of the 3 is like potentially bad enough.
Well, I mean, you sound confident, so I'd probably be happy to go with what you think. And I'm not sure, but it would be interesting what Alex.
This is going to be an interesting one to analyze.
Alex doesn't know.
both plays have merit.
Can we just look at the no hit again? Because I would say my speed gammon play again is to hit. So I'm not confident in this one, by the way. This is a very difficult.
Oh no,
these are like the hardest ones for me. Yeah.
So what I think about is, let's say we play like this without hitting. What's going to happen? What's likely to happen next? White's got to consolidate something, and we'll probably get another shot. On the other hand, let's say we do this. If we get hit back those half of the time, it's like really bad.
Yeah.
really bad. I mean, 25% of the time they're going to dance, so that's really good.
Yeah.
So this is certainly more volatile, of course.
My argument there is
Can
that
we?
that the 18 hits that are really good for white are more really good.
Yeah,
And that the fans, like when we get missed, they're not as really good. We still have work to do.
right.
But actually where I think I end up here is when we enter and play 6-3, I'm not like, so we have life after death. I made that argument as well. But that dillied checker to the 3, it's not clear to me that we're ever going to be able to fill in a prime and make the 4 the way we need to. Like this might just be too far from creating offensive structure.
Right.
And so it might be that like we just need to put the whole game on the line on slotting the 4 as well. Like it might be that even if we hit a checker in the next couple of rolls, we're just not going to have the 4 point. And so we're just like never really going to be able to turn around and win, you know?
Yeah, this is kind of what I was saying, but you put it much more eloquently. Even that alone, the fact that you can't use that checker to make the 4 point could swing it. And the other, I just want to make a secondary suggestion. You really, if you're going to play a 3 that's not 7-4, and you don't want to play 7-4 in a way, you want to play 19-16, which you clearly can't play 19-16 because it gets hit too much. But if it didn't get hit too much somehow, let's say that block was immune, you'd kind of like that there. And that kind of factors into this putting the checker on the 3 point idea, which is you just don't want it there. Whether or not that can be decisive in calling what's right or wrong. Like, and also just to add one more thing, if you had 5 checkers on the 6 point, maybe 6-3 would be a little bit preferable. But 4 checkers, you're kind of taking away a valuable spare.
Or if the 3 wasn't made, But I mean, everything we've said points me to hitting, which is like the default speed gammon play.
Okay, I this is my default play, but you know, it's interesting when you talk about backgammon and whether or not you can tie your 2 features together, your speed, your instinct with your reasoning. And I think the great backgammon player can explain their instincts.
Yeah.
And I always know how far I have to go when I can't really, like, I want to do this, but I don't really can't really follow through on why.
Maybe a great backgammon teacher can explain their instincts, and a great player just has them.
Maybe. Yeah.
All right. So,
what are we doing?
What's the final decision?
I want to hit.
Hitting. Okay, let's hit.
We'll hit. All right.
Okay. I knew we should hit.
Driver's seat. So
it's pretty good to go from, it's not that the game's ever going to be finished. You know what I'm concerned about? The fact that we had to survive that. Maybe the take was not that easy, you know, because we rolled a pretty good number and we had to survive 18 shots.
No, but the pretty good number was like this, you know, are we going to be in the 30s, like in the like I feel like either way we were probably going to have like 30 to 40% winning chances, and we were just trying to figure out which had more. And I think like the equity is very big, but that doesn't make it like, it was a very tough play for us. But I think both sides, whichever one we chose was going to be really good. That's what I think with that. Yeah. The 4 here, I guess we reduce shots by playing to the 9. But it feels pretty natural to play 19-15.
No, I think we have to. We don't want to get hit on the. I mean, we can't get hit now, but I'm again pretty clear about 19-15.
Okay.
You want to get your checkers from the back. Why is it why? But I can't really hammer down why. I guess he might not hit unless he comes in with a 2 something.
Yeah. We have more pressure when he doesn't hit us too. And picking up another block.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I know we're going kind of over to, okay, yeah. I'm happy with 19-15.
I like that too.
I don't like breaking the 13.
Okay. All right.
Oh.
Double 4. Okay.
Wow.
So.
Okay, we can't go too far wrong here.
And now
so we can obviously slot the bar, but maybe we don't need to, or we can just play 11 and 9. I think So let's say
Yeah.
he comes in with an ace.
It's a problem, but not that big of a problem. And an ace what, right? Is another question.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
like
yeah. So he's
this.
got good point. I didn't see
Yeah.
that initially. He's got like basically every ace is bad for him.
So I think this is okay. I don't think we need to put that huge swing on the ace six. I think,
Yeah. Also,
yeah,
we're
yeah,
duplicating our six in a way, and we don't have that many covers.
yeah,
And now we give ourselves good fours and twos and stuff. Maybe is
yeah.
trying to.
Maybe, I mean, the upside of the slotted bar is pretty huge. Like almost half the time we will cover it, right? We have fours as well, so half the time. Yeah. But I still,
No, no, it was only six. It'd be only be sixes,
yeah,
wouldn't
but
it?
4-4 gets there as well, is what I was saying.
Oh, 4-4. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I would just spread out and not give the ace six even.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're certainly happier when we're missed, but I don't think we need to put the swing on the ace six. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure about this, but okay, we've taken up way too much time, so I guess.
All right, we'll do this one. Okay. Oh
All
wow,
right.
it didn't come out.
Okay, no, we didn't. That's silly of me. I didn't even see that. I didn't even completely clock that the ace six actually, leaves a shot. I suppose I thought he would be coming out,
Yeah, no, I never would have thought it
and
this way.
therefore, yeah, wow.
Yeah. All right.
Let's
Well,
get.
can't do anything about it.
Wow, we can't hit either. Okay.
Could hit, but
Do we have to slot now and play 13-8? Why am I thinking that?
I don't know why you're thinking that. It makes sixes much better for him. So
Well,
I would probably just, yes. Yeah. This is my instinct, is just to like play two in and cover the outfield. Sixes are still pretty good. Six, I mean, maybe there's some way to leave one out and play deep, like 11-2. I don't know if that gains anything, but I would probably play like this and count on the not six, and we still have contacts. Yeah, like it's only 6-1 that gets the double shot, so this seems best to me.
I guess his other numbers are not good if he doesn't roll a six.
Mm-hmm.
So I suppose that's
We follow up with attacking very well too when he doesn't roll a six. Like we're very prepared
also
now if we can fade one
6-1,
sequence.
6-1, and 6-1 is weird because he can't safety to go on the 18 as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure. I kind of lost my pinpoint. Yeah, you need to think about it. I'm not really thinking so clearly at the moment, but yeah, okay, maybe this is.
I find that happens when you're forced to like talk about the game and like think about other people's opinions. Like chouettes mess up my game real bad because like
Yeah,
it's actually not
yeah,
that easy to like try to think about
yeah,
backgammon the way that other people do. It's hard
yeah.
enough to think
That's
about
a
it my own way and know what I know, you know?
that's a
So,
great point.
yeah,
For me, that's the real test of a backgammon player is being able to kind of wheedle the other chaff out as well
yeah,
and explain why it's not. I
yeah,
guess you don't want to give a six, but now, of course, the downside to this is that if he rolls something, you don't win immediately. You've got a pretty decent route to victory, but you're not gonna. If you play 13, what was it? 13-8, 11-7. You have like twos and ones to make it, but maybe this is just ridiculous.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the other way he doesn't have any. I guess double sixes are the only roll that probably win instantly. This way, like a six might just win the game, might just buy in the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, for sure. I see
Yeah.
it. Yeah. So
So
yeah.
I think it's bigger for him. Yeah.
Okay. So if we're not doing that, maybe this is the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, tough. Backgammon is not easy.
This might be the last two people one that you ever do, huh, Alex?
No, it's okay. I will be able to have time. We might just have to take a few minutes break. The other thing I think
Sure,
about,
let's go. Let's go. I mean, I'm just trying to preserve my, like, don't want to make a mistake. But yeah, let's just see what.
well,
Doesn't
I mean,
matter.
I think like, let's say we don't make the bar point. How good are our winning chances? We can still win from here, right? We don't really need the bar point to win, do we?
Yeah, that's the question. And Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. My plan from here is to hit loose on the ace a lot of the times and like not
Right.
give him a single out and just, yeah. And I mean, that's going to be the usual sequence after this.
Okay. So is this the play?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now, 5-4. Perfect.
Boo, boo.
All
Too
right.
easy. Okay,
Now I just need a double fives to keep it interesting.
that's just
Like
boring.
that.
Yeah, we win. I
How do
guess
you-
there's technical plays here, but I don't like to think about them usually. This is okay with me.
Yeah, you do whatever. Yeah, I don't. Whatever
If we
you want.
play
Yeah,
this
yeah,
allows
this.
double
Yeah,
sixes, but
yeah,
okay.
yeah. It's fine.
Likely to play deep a lot, but okay.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
Yep.
I'll stack them all on the 3-point. Yeah, okay. I don't. Yeah.
I like the distribution better. Yeah.
Okay.
Or rolls like this. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Keep the
We do
6
want to
prime.
peel some checkers and not play too quickly to like clear the 6 because he could just roll 6s and win that way eventually.
Oh no! I'm happy to clear the 6 now.
Yes, with the 4-2 for sure.
Yeah.
With the 3-1, I'm saying.
Yeah. No, with the 3-1, you don't want to leave a 6-5. I learned that. I
Hmm.
used to clear the 6 prematurely, but
Hmm.
you don't want to do that. No reason. Oh, moment of truth.
We did it. And we played a 0.
Right.
Oh, he played a 0.
Wow.
0. All right. I'm going to stop this for a moment. Give me just a moment. I'll save this. Let me see here.
Looks like we played a 4.5, Simon. I blame you.
Yeah.
So I wonder what. Yeah. Well, it was a short match, so
It was.
that's yeah.
We had a couple really difficult ones and not that many decisions or something. So I don't think. Our cube was horrible.
The cube was way early. Yeah.
Was it really?
Oh, it was a single game. Okay.
Yeah.
I did not think it could be that early. So it almost feel more like we would have missed. But let's look at that one.
All right. So we'll take a look. We'll go from the beginning. The 4-1 was clear, and then the 5.
It's like we did really well otherwise.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
This was
5-4.
the 5-4. I can see. I told you sometimes I'm wrong.
Okay, running is too much of a play. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, it just feels really weird to like park and
that's
leave
my
some
mistake.
shots. But no, what's really interesting about these to me is that like what I find the thematic play to me was 23-14, and that's like a blunder, and we found something better than that for sure. And 9-4, like making the 4-point had interesting merit to it eventually. But it's like it's neat to me when like very good players can find like this kind of compromise, even though making the 9 isn't great, and I would just throw this away and probably be more likely to make the 146 error, you know?
I admit this, I thought this was the right play, and I need to understand. Yep. I don't understand why.
I think a whole, but I guess we don't need to provoke on the bar. There's a bunch of shots. He might get to like make it or slot it. I can think of a lot of reasons why we don't want to be hit there, of course. And maybe there isn't actually any urgency to do anything other than fill in gaps between the 3 and the 6.
If you give me a moment, I can pull up this dice distribution and we can look at it.
Mm-hmm. This doesn't feel like one that's going to show us too much with that. I've gotten a feel for when it's just like some swing roll, but these are such strategically different ideas, you know? So like White's follow-up is going to be just night and day different after we make the 4-point versus come out to the bar point, right? So it's going to be hard to compare them that way, if that makes any sense.
Okay. Let's see, share.
Yeah, it was interesting though, once we looked at making the 4-point, that it looked better than I would have thought.
So here it is. Let's go back to this and look at the final. So this is what it looks like after making the 4-point, and then this is what it looks like after our play.
Mm-hmm.
And then here are the swings. Let me go back and look. The 6s are big, so we get hit with 6s. So like,
yeah,
6-3, 6-2, we get hit, and then the 2-1, we get hit on the other way. So those are the big swings.
Just a simple thing, really. I mean, I kind of overcomplicated it. Yes.
Yeah, of course we prefer not to be hit with a 6 in general.
Just don't want to get hit with a 6 for a start and a 1 as well.
Yeah.
6 and the 1, right?
Yeah.
Whereas I guess you don't have to worry too much about getting hit on the 8 because it doesn't happen that much.
I heard you guys bring up the concept of like the returns too, that like our entering 6s are going to hit back, that it's like we're in range and can get into.
Yeah, Alex said that. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think we're outboarded. First of all, it's like the simple way to look at it, but also just when our opponent has the 5-point made, like it's a riskier gambit. Like I found that that kind of logic works really well against the 1-point board, but just not as well as soon as they start to develop, you know?
Right. All right. Anything else on this position, or shall we move on?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So then what we did is it's on final. I'll go back to here. So then we got hit, and then the double 3 was clear.
Yeah, we could look at the 2 cube decisions before this too. Like at least Simon wanted to pause there.
Oh, this here.
No, we would look at our cube decision. Move 4 for black.
Oh, 4 for 4. Oh, yeah, this one.
Yeah, so we are a favorite here. Okay, so it's not like crazy.
Yeah, it's hardly not that much weaker than the position I convinced you to. So I have noticed this. I play a few 3-point matches on Galaxy because it's all I can bear to play because they're short, and I do cube early, and I sort of try to. Somehow you cube later, bizarrely, when it's a 3-point match. Like you can make big blunders.
Yeah, I want to be interesting to see because I bet the numbers would still look like we're supposed to send the cube. I'm surprised that it can be that far off. I really am.
Yeah, I don't understand that. I know I know it suits me to say that, but
no, we'll get to it. Yeah, no, I really, the more we talked about it, the more I felt like, yeah, for sure, you know.
We can modify the position.
I think I want to look at the actual.
Yeah, not this one. This one to me is like nowhere near, but the one we doubled, I thought was a double. So
okay, so let's get there. Yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah, well, yeah. Sorry.
So what was the cube action before this roll? This one seemed like a mile away to me.
This is like easy, but in fact, this is closer to a double than the one where we're shooting at the block.
Yes, yeah, that seems true because we've made our 5-point, which is huge, right? Like this is way better.
Sure. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, and then if we look at the next one, I think our issue with it is just going to be the magnitude of the market loss. I am surprised. 56. I would not have guessed that we're that low on winning percentage. The 22% gammon seems pretty good, and I still 18% for him too. Yeah, no, I dramatically.
That 178 seems high. But it always is high or often, and I'm always like, why? I don't get it. I don't usually double that early anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And I play a lot of money games on Extreme Gammon Mobile, and you double very early when you've got like maybe someone clever like Neil Kazaros will know this immediately. Why?
Oh, actually,
it can tend to be more of a double. Hold on, in a money game somehow than it can be at 3-away.
Well, I think you said XG Mobile, and I think if I remember tendencies
too early.
Yes, yeah. And so you're probably like acclimating to that side of the window, you know.
But yeah. No, but only a little. Yeah, you're right. But only a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the heat map, the 2-roll heat map. If you look, these are market losers are in green, non-market losers are in white. There's not as many market losers. See the 3s. These are our 3s. They're not always good. They're really good when they dance.
Yeah, they're only good when he dances. They're only market losers when he dances.
The green is where he dances, right?
Yeah.
Alex?
Correct.
Yeah? Yeah, okay.
Oh, look at this. What does the white mean? Because I can see the 1-5 is what actually happened too. And I was thinking that that would be a pass after that sequence, but
It would
yeah,
be apparently a market loser. Yeah.
yeah.
The darker
Well, that
green
is a
is more of a
loss.
market loss.
Okay.
And then let me show you. So this is the equity heat map. Oh, it doesn't have the volatility here. So this is the reverse. Red is good for us, but there's still a lot of green
Yeah.
for the opponent. And
So
then
I
you
think,
can put the jokers. These are the jokers,
yeah,
these threes, but then there are a lot of anti-jokers here.
yeah. So we
Nice.
talked about 2s and 4-2, and we'd have an advantage, and maybe even like a market loss somehow if he doesn't split, but it's not super clear. So actually, to me, what teaches me the most about these cube actions is to actually look at a couple of them and what the follow-up cube action would be. And so I'm curious, actually, after our 2-1 and our opponent's 1-5, if we look at that as though there's a centered cube, like this is a great example of, did we lose our market and by how much?
So this was a small market loss, right? I thought that was what the white meant, a very small
exactly.
one.
So
And that's
yeah, you need to put his play in, Alex.
yeah,
Oh, isn't this after the? Oh, wait a minute. This is
yeah. Nick's really on the ball today.
was this?
No,
we
it's he entered on the 24 and played 8-3 and hit.
Played 8-3, and
Oh,
it
okay,
should
so
be
this
like a
position,
pass. It should be according to your.
Oh no,
like,
sorry.
like
You
a-
want to go to the next play then? Oh
This,
no, you
right?
got it right. You got it right. Yeah.
This, okay, so now look at the cube decision.
Sure, you got to recenter it too. But
Oh, center.
yeah, look at this. These numbers again. He's winning a lot more.
Now it's
than
still a
I
take.
thought.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I thought this was a market loser. I would pass this as white. And
Yeah.
I'm very surprised to see 64% is as high as our wins get, that this is still so playable for white. It's interesting. Is it really that open 4-point that cost us eventually? Or just like our distribution and likelihood to close it? Or something like this?
No.
Yeah.
Now it's a
still
pass.
So if you put it on the 3 and then just like move a blot 9-8. What is this now? Yeah, it's a big chunk, but it's still takeable. But so this is kind of, we talked about this in the early game with the 13-9 play. Like the 9-point just kind of sucks in this game. Once we've made the 3.
Well, you would prefer to have the 2-point, obviously, because he's got the 2-point. Our own 2-point. Try the 8 because we've got our 2-point open.
Yeah. But I mean, this is huge. It's like structurally, it's just a huge difference. I don't know. Yeah. We're just looking to like turn it into builders and stuff. Okay. But this is kind of what I was thinking about, like the sequences of like, okay, when we hit and our opponent doesn't anchor and they just enter and do something, like, have we really lost our market? And I thought the answer was yes, but just not by that much. But that speaks to the magnitude of our cube error when we sent it, because actually we haven't lost our market. You know?
Yeah, so it makes sense that we queued when we did, because we thought that this was something like this would be a humongous pass.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't realize that it's like borderline. And I still don't understand these positions, but maybe I'm just my senses are a bit off now. Particularly, I don't know.
Okay, so this is a pass, and we wanted to go back and look at what happens where.
Yeah, so on this one, imagine our opponent on this roll fanned instead, and then what is the follow-up cube action?
Okay, so
we can,
yeah.
Sure.
So we're not on the bar.
Yep, our opponent is, and we're on the 22. So
like
how much?
This.
Yeah.
Oh, after a fan. Yeah.
We're too good now. Okay.
Too good. Yeah.
I'm really
I just say the obvious. Yeah. I just want to say, sorry, Nick, that the obvious thing is it's huge to have to be on the bar against the 3-point board in any backgammon position, but yet somehow doesn't.
This was not the position. Sorry, it was like this.
Oh, we have the 9-point instead of the 8-point.
But still,
like this.
Yeah, but it's still pretty strong. Okay.
Still too good.
Still too good. Yeah, it's just being able to be sure that you're going to be moving your checkers, whatever the weather. That's huge. Again, it's such an obvious observation, but
yeah.
What happens if we do this?
Yeah.
Now it's a double pass.
That just makes it ugly.
Sweet. Well, just those couples like give us more feedback on our cube.
Yeah.
Like we are technically too good there, but it's like pick 'em. You know, you don't even have to play that on if you don't want.
Yeah.
Can
Okay.
I just reiterate for my own benefit, when I'm at the bar at all, I'm going to be careful about
Yeah.
queuing.
Yeah.
Think about 25% fans, which isn't the first time I've said that to myself, but yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So we hit here, and then the 2-1 made that point,
You
and then
made it.
our 2-1.
Yeah. This was no brainer. I just wanted to.
Yeah. I mean, it shows that your anchoring play is like has merit. It's like worth something, right? But yeah.
I think it turns out I've done a lot of rollouts in these back games, and the bar point or the 18 point for the opponent is really big, because that basically gives communication between these back checkers and the rest of the army. When you have that point, it's really key.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
the double twos. I didn't even think about it, but I would have thought I'd find some way to step up to the 21 here. But yeah. Just point and playing offense. We already see the 23 already sees the light. It already is out on sixes. So maybe it's not so urgent. Okay. Yeah. That surprised me.
Okay. So let's see. And then we danced.
Yeah.
And double 5 was here. And then double 4 danced. Okay, so this was where we kind of danced and kept going.
We're talking about how he's never going to send a cube because he's always going to be too good.
We would have ended up playing 8 if we hadn't have come in, because we got some extra decisions in, actually.
We were
like, okay, so this wasn't clear. To me, that's not clear. 63 is like, no. It shouldn't get too much worse. So it gets better. Okay.
Yeah. This is more wins for
27% gammons.
Yeah.
27%. Wow.
I would have thought that white was like in the 60s here if I had to estimate it. The gammons seem totally, they're higher than we talked about. Okay. It doesn't seem like
much higher.
Yeah. But either way, like the theory that we talked about is the same. Like what this boils down to is like, yes, there's gammons to play on, but we would take. And so he can just play for his match. He wins the match 73% of the time or whatever it is, right? When we just double here.
Right.
Otherwise, he gets 75% of it, 75%, and only gains like the match with some equity left on like the quarter of the time that he wins a gammon. It's very difficult to outweigh that when they can just take and play for the match instead. Like it tends to be better in even score scenarios like this. Yeah.
I'll put this in so we can see the market losers.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I would have, I mean, practically after the 6s or 4s or something like that, I still would have had a hard time and thought it was probably a take.
So because of how you saw the position, it was a very easy decision. But for me, when I first looked at it, I didn't get a strong feeling either way. So yeah.
So these are all the market losers. Basically, anytime we don't roll a 6, it's a market loss.
If he just makes any progress?
I mean, these are all our 6s.
Yeah.
Wow.
Alex, what does the white mean? Like the 3-1?
The 3-1.
Like the 3-1 column?
Oh, the 3-1 column.
Like, is that a market?
Tiny market loss.
So if it's red, it's non-market loss. If it's anything else, it's a market loss, and the magnitude of the market loss has to do with the intensity of the green. So the darker the green, the bigger the market
But the white is still a market loss.
White is like 1.0, 1.01.
It's like a light green.
Right.
Okay, got you. Yeah.
So I'm starting to see it too. If we look at the position again, I guess I wasn't seeing it this way, but like, so if 3-1 is a thing, like that can make the 8 point, 11 to 8, 9 to 8 probably. But I guess what's going to happen a lot of the times is we're going to consolidate 1 or 2 blots, and Extreme Gammon thinks that that's safe enough where we don't have enough winning chances anymore if we're not in already. I'm not sure that looked like a market loss to me. But
The other thing is, like,
Exactly,
let's
but
say,
yeah,
say we come in and hit back, we're going to have a lot of blots.
yeah,
And if he hits back, then it's a big problem.
yeah, that is a persistent issue, that like of not having the 4-point like we experienced, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say in those scenarios where the computer improves a tiny bit and you wonder how is it that it then becomes a pass. I don't know the answer to that, but it just shows you that like a tiny improvement is what it's based. That's why it's a cube, because it can roll
Yeah.
like 3-1.
Right. Well,
And that's like,
yeah.
it's nice. It's kind of a nice thing. I don't know why I quite like that. It's such a minimal thing
Sure.
for a human. Like for a human
Yeah.
being, like, oh,
Yeah.
you're not going to be delighted that you just rolled a 3-1. But the computer, I don't know. John Giorgio certainly wouldn't trust that.
Yeah, I can't believe. So this is like,
Yeah.
well, I think the 3-1 is like a decent size improvement. Having 3 blots instead of 5, I don't know. I can see how that's better for sure.
Sure, but in terms of pips,
Still
though,
seems
right?
many
You know, if you just look at it as
rolls.
4 pips.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm really surprised that it jumps 10% winning chances just to link up the block 21 to 11 like that. I thought there was decent contact out there.
Oh, but that's 2 crossovers. So for me, that is an improvement. But for me, the 3-1 is like, it's like meh, or
0
however you
crossovers.
pronounce it.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
So now the gammons are high enough that it makes it, well, the pass. It's getting close to too good. Did you see Simon?
You
the
mean the
video I
single
did?
game?
Yeah, yeah. Did you see the video I did with John?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
That was a good one. Okay. So what else? Anything else on this position before we move on?
No.
Okay.
No, thank you
All
for
right.
being patient.
So no, this is great. This is how we learn.
So he rolled 3-2.
3-2. Okay. And then
Oh yeah. Okay.
6-3. Okay, so this
Awesome.
it was close. But let's see the
There we
plus
go.
plus.
No, that's great. That's great. That's great. But this is
Yeah.
again the standard of. It's so hard to.
It's such a rarity that they're even close too. Like I thought for sure this was going to be like a
balance.
300 mistake one way or the other or something like this, you know?
That's what I thought.
Yeah, yeah. This is bizarre. But I mean, we talked through all the reasons why it's difficult, right? I don't know. Yeah.
You have to be an amazing player to be able to spot in this position that they're going to be close. Like and to be like not just guessing, but to see that they're close is like only the computer can do that because it calculates it. But yeah.
Yeah, it's just too much to calculate for me. And like I can study this all day and still like I at least what I get out of studying is being able to like look over all the features like we did, and then I'm still like guessing at what the equation is to come up with the right answer, you know?
Maybe Alex, I don't know if I don't really post there, but I know that you sometimes post on Backgammon Strategy. Maybe you post this.
Yeah.
Yes, I think there are a
6-3,
number of good positions from this match that we'll post on here.
But this one particularly, because specifically because I'd actually be curious to know what I sometimes post when I just genuinely want to know what people would do. And I hope that they're not putting it in. And this is one where I want to know what people. I imagine most people want to hit, but maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, so they're close. So this is the not hitting play, the final, and this is the hitting play. So when we're looking at this, let's see this one. Anytime you get hit, it's a huge swing. But when they dance,
So
it's
then what?
the other way.
Yeah. This is another one where it's like dice distribution is going to tell us next to nothing because it's just completely different games. Like what's interesting is maybe the magnitude of how bad we are when we get hit or how good we are when we don't get hit. And also how bad we are when we just choose to do nothing, right? Like it's already very interesting to look at when we just don't hit that we're still 41%. Which I was like, I'm happy that we were kind of in that ballpark. Like I was saying too, that we're like deciding between which, yeah.
Only
If
the
you look at
genius Nick.
this one,
I didn't know that at all.
You didn't
yeah,
know what?
No, I didn't know that at all. All credit to you. Seriously, I didn't. I would never even. I think about percentages or at all. I was just like going
Yeah.
through feel, and I would never be able to venture a percentage.
Well,
So yeah,
whatever the percentage was, like I'm not going to be like accurate with that. What was important to me was that we have a ton of wins either way. That's what I was pointing out. And it's really hard to like granularly figure out whether we have a third or 40%. You know, like those aren't going to look too different to me in either play, right? But what was clear to me was that we're wrestling with really good winning chances in both cases, if that makes sense.
yeah, you know it. Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
You got it. And I was pretty much against the 6-3 play. I would say I was against it.
Yeah.
they're both about 40%.
Alex, have you?
Yes, sir.
I think your camera has frozen. I'm not sure.
It's
Or maybe
okay.
it's
Our
me.
images don't show up on this portion until the end.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I was going to show you this one. This is the area under the curve after the 6-3 on the left is green and the hitting is on the right. The area is approximately the same. This is something I don't look at so much, but that's what you were talking about, like the magnitude of the swings. Here, this is
Yeah. I guess what what's really hard about comparing these is that after playing 6-3, we have a very static and consistent 41.8%. And after hitting, we have like as volatile as possible of a 41%. And
Right.
so like it's apples and oranges, like how it adds up to that, right? Like there's very few market losers after we just play quiet. But the game's very likely to be decided on the next roll after our 7-4. So
I was
a
just
position
about
like
to say
that
what
is
roll it happened.
really hard to compare, and dice distribution is the difference. Like
It
the
is.
game is completely different after each of those, right?
right. So I'm rolling it out, and we should have an answer shortly. In the meanwhile, did you want to move on to the next one, or did you have any more
Yeah.
comments about this? Yeah, we can go on.
I think there are very few decisions left. But yeah, well,
Right.
we at least talked about this. You could reduce shots playing 13-9, but 19-15 just makes more sense because we gain more shots when he misses. Like I don't know, I could talk through this, but I'm happy.
Yeah, this one's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Okay.
We talked about slotting on the next one too and decided not to. And slotting was right on a lower. Okay.
They were close, yeah.
Simon found the 4-ply play.
It's,
Let's see what plus says.
I think
No, I didn't want
it's
to start.
just slow because
Not
it's
true.
rolling this out.
That would be disingenuous. I wanted to make the play we made.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
You were just thinking about slotting the bar.
The rollout.
No, I saw there were two plays. That's all.
Yeah.
So what does the rollout say? 18.
The rollout
Same.
6-3 was they were
Yeah.
close, but 6-3 was
It's
better.
17. But it's the 3-ply. Yeah, okay.
This is
Oh,
a 3-ply roll.
Our winning chances went up dramatically on both of them, though, like by
Right.
1.5%. That's pretty surprising.
That
Right.
that must be a glitch in some sort of glitch kind of thing. Like why would
I don't know. I don't
Um,
bother with rollouts for the most part. Like I don't know. Yeah. I did a really interesting, like I've been working on the opening cubes book. I don't know if I'll ever get done with it, but I was like wrestling with whether I should roll out like third roll cubes or just do plus. And so I took every possible cube after a 3-1 opening. And I think like the biggest difference between plus and a rollout that I found in a pretty extensive rollout was like less than 0.005 difference. And there was one that was like a 0.001 no double that changed to a 0.001 double or something. And it was fairly convincing to me, like why would I bother with rollouts for this at this point?
it's reassuring to know that, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. There's positions where it changes, and then like sometimes I'm confident that the rollout is better, but it's pretty rare, and I tend towards just plus myself.
I can show you a
Alex, you
study.
can always cut a lot of this out, you know that, can't you?
Oh no, I love hearing what you both have to say. But
Oh, correct answer.
I'll show you something I did here is zoom in. Let me see if I can.
Yeah, I mean, if it's going to be a rollout exception, like I know they exist, but there's like areas of the game where it's sort of clear that they're not going to, if that makes sense. Like you can start to pick up on the features where something really struggles. And then even if there is like a clear difference, like sometimes it's not crystal clear how much more accurate the rollout answer is either. Like kind of some of the backgammon or back game positions that I wrestled with where obviously the bot's just going to immediately screw it up anyway, like on whatever analysis level that you roll it out at. So it's like, what am I learning by rolling this out now? You know,
This is a page from my book where I examine the rollouts like what you were discussing, Nick. But these are in back game positions, which are of course much more complicated. And what I did was basically look at the what is this one? The cubeless equity or cupel equity. Oh, okay. So this is the cupel equity after a play. So this was in the non-rollout settings, and these are the various rollout settings. So the rollouts were 1 ply, 2 ply, 3 ply, 4 ply with various search intervals. And of course, what I tell people is nothing is ever perfect. However, we can at least say that the 4 ply plays stronger than the 3 ply and so forth. So these values are more accurate than these values. And if you look at the difference between the cupel equity on the plus analysis versus the 4-ply gigantic, it's over 200 of a difference. So that's a big difference on back game positions. But in early game positions, I think if you did this kind of analysis, you wouldn't see the same.
So it's something like coming off one of your triple anchors, off the 23 point. Or how many anchors do you have in this before the checker play?
Was this.
Just
yeah, I feel like the position really matters too. Yeah,
this is the position.
Okay, and
what? Right. You've got the 24. Okay.
So you hit and continue or something like that. But after the what the data shows is your equity after you play.
Okay, and your equity is better than it thinks or something like that.
Right. That's exactly right. Okay. So let's go back to this. And then, so this will be an interesting one. We'll post on the forums. And let's see what else we've got here. The 4-3 on the plus. Yep, that was right to come out. And the double 4.
Sorry, so I'm not seeing. Yeah, I am. Okay, yeah.
Are you seeing this now? So this
seems like you're freezing up a little bit, Sidem. Yeah.
And then the double 4.
This is a common occurrence that I've seen too, is that like the lower plies like things like slotting to end the game, and plus tends to like the conservative approach we found like marginally.
Nice. It's an overturn. Yeah, overturned it. It's very small, but
yeah. I see this come up quite a bit though. It, like specifically like slotting the bar or slotting something like turning the game into a one roll proposition. Like the lower plies just seem to have like value that slightly higher.
Yeah.
And plus is okay playing more solid than just longer term. It would be interesting if a rollout actually like dramatically changed this too.
Let's see what it says.
I wouldn't think so, but
yeah, it looks like it's the other way on rollout.
Same way as plus, but it didn't change the margins much. No, this is what plus had.
Yeah. I thought plus said slot.
No,
no. The XG,
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so the extreme gammon play was the top play. You can see by the icon. Next to the...
Oh, okay. So this is the plus analysis with slotting. But the rollout.
I mean, it's so small.
Yeah, they're very close. It's not a big deal to kind of.
It doesn't really illustrate that much. I don't know.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, so we can continue the 5-4. Yeah, this is the one where it was, we didn't need to slot. What was we're looking at slotting.
Oh, yeah. No, it's not even that. It's the fifth play or sixth.
Yeah.
Like a 90 blunder.
Huge swing on sixes like we talked about.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And everything gets easy from there.
From here was smooth sailing.
Oh, right. Okay. It was all fours.
We can go back and see some of these, but nothing special. The 6-4. Okay. And then the 4-3 didn't really matter. 3-1 was 4 off, and then the 4-2. This is where you want to clear. Yeah, that makes sense. And then that was basically it. So we won the match.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
since that was a short match, we play another one now.
we could do it in another video. I tell people, like,
I enjoyed that a lot. Thank you.
Yeah. My pleasure.
That's fun.
Stop this. Go ahead and do that. There we go. So I enjoyed that. I think it's a lot to learn. I mean, it's really good to, I don't really care about how we play, but more about like how much we learn when we're looking at the positions. I really appreciate your time. I know, Simon, it's evening time, so I appreciate you accommodating us. It's been a pleasure to have you both. I'd love to have you again. What else? Any final thoughts about this match?
I think we pretty well covered it.
Yeah. It's a good format. I recommend maybe 2 slightly less verbose participants, but I think 2 is a good learning exposition, whatever the right word is.
It is. Great. I think also, I had 2 really strong players as well, so that makes it even better because we can hear your thought process, and there's a lot of learning from that. I'll go ahead and post some of these interesting positions on the forums to see what other people say. I'll go ahead and process the video. I'll send you the link to the match file, and I'll put a link to the match file in the video so people can look at that as well. Do you guys have any final comments before we conclude?
No, thanks for having me, man. That was a lot of fun.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time. We'll go ahead and conclude. Thank you to the viewers for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe, and you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. Please let me know what you think in the comments below, what you'd like to see in future videos so I can work on that. Let me know if you like this format with multiple guests. I thought it was very educational myself. Again, my book, Backgammon Backgame Strategies, is available. I'll put a link in the description to where you can get it. And Nick, your book is still available on Amazon. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right.
So I'll put a link there. It's called Adjusting to Match Play. Do you want like a moment to tell people about what it's about? I've read it. It's outstanding.
Oh, thanks, man. I would love to hear what you think about it, maybe. But I feel like everyone knows about it now. It's still, people are still finding it and buying it, which is cool. But yeah, just it's hopefully a very pragmatic and digestible summary of if you know backgammon and have some idea how you play money play, how to adjust that thinking to tournament play without having to do all the calculation and match equity memorization, and just how do I think about it in terms of heuristics instead. And the feedback that I'm consistently getting over the year or more that it's been out now is not only does it help people's game a lot, but they find themselves rereading it a lot too, which was kind of the idea when I wrote it, was that I tried to keep it pretty tight and to the point and not hit the same thing over and over again, so that hopefully you can keep going through it and refining your understanding each time that you get through and picking up something new. Yeah.
Yeah, it was outstanding. I definitely recommend it for people. The other one's about match play. Kit Woolsey wrote one a long time ago, which is good. And Dirk Sheeman has a lot in his book, The Theory of Backgammon. It's very technical. I understand Michi's coming out with one on a 5-point match. And I did some other videos that will be posted shortly on double points and take points in a 5-point match. So we'll look at that. So if you want to improve your match play, definitely recommend that. I'll put the link in the description. And if you're interested in lessons, you can contact Nick and Simon on Facebook, and my email will be in the description. I look forward to seeing everyone in future videos. And until then, keep rolling your dice.